Hello everyone. This video is very important. So until now we went through installation part. Now we are dealing into the practical part. So basically to understand how internet works, we need to develop an application. So diving into web development gives us intuition about how internet works, how things actually works. If we press www.amazon.com, how web pages are being served, we'll all get to know if we learn about web development. So in this tutorial, I'm going to I'm going to give about quick introduction about HTML, CSS, JavaScript when it comes to front end, and Node.js, Express, which is a framework of Node.js. And finally, I'll be telling about how actually the connections are being done. So how a web server connects to app server, and app server how it connects to database server. So we'll be doing this in the next video also. Next video will be a code along video where we'll be developing our simple web app, and hopefully this will be like prerequisite for if you are going to code along with me in the next video. That's it. Continue seeing this video. I'll catch you in the next video. Without any further delay, let's start learning few necessary concepts. Okay, I'll open this PDF. I've already opened it here. Okay, so this video will be about quick intro about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Node.js, NPM, Express, and finally how a web app works. Okay, how is the connection being made? So let's go to HTML. Okay, let's start from HTML. HTML is the most basic thing. Okay, so for web development, HTML you can learn it as like HTML is like the noun of the English grammar. Okay, noun. So it stands for hypertext markup language. Okay, HTML is the most basic building block of the web. It defines the meaning and structure of web content. So whatever you see, any website you go without HTML, there can't be any website. Okay, because HTML is so basic that it should be there. So for a building, if there is no base, you can't build a building, right? So similarly, HTML is so important and it's basic too. So other technologies besides HTML are generally used to describe a web page appearance, which we'll be discussing in the next part of the video, which is CSS or JavaScript. Okay. Okay, hypertext refers to links. The hypertext in H, the H stands for hypertext, right? So it refers to links that connect web pages to one another, either within a single website or between websites. Links are a fundamental aspect of the web. Okay, as you know, links are so fundamental, right? By uploading content of the internet and linking it to pages created by other people, you become an active participant in the World Wide Web. WWW. So in this world of internet, this HTML plays an important role. Okay. Okay, let's move to this slide. So HTML uses markup to annotate text, images, and other contents for display in web browser. If you are a non-CS student, you'll be seeing this. You have seen this head tag and all. Where if you go to Chrome or any web browser, if you click on Control Shift I, or if you inspect an element of the web page, you'll be seeing all this. Okay, head, title, body, header. So right click and go to Inspect Element. Okay, and you can see the HTML tags and HTML files, etc. So these are all special elements. Okay, head, title. So in the web page, in the web browser, we'll get like this, no, white color, the tab we have opened. In the on the tab there will be name written, right, of the tab. So if you are in Instagram, will be like Instagram will be written on the tab name. So what does that mean? So title of the title in the HTML file will be Instagram, like that. So there are so many tags, where there are hundreds of tags available. Okay, and now I will like to code along. I have created a folder called nutshell. I have opened VS Code. Okay, I'll show you the file structure. So create a folder called nutshell. Nutshell, in the sense, since it's introduction, I kept it as nutshell. Okay, and there is two files, html intro.html, html css.css. You can create these two files, or you can give any name. If you are creating html, you have to give the extension .html. If you are creating a css file, you have to give your name .css. So let's start coding. So the basic thing is html. Okay, this tag is the basic thing. Okay, this should be there to identify that this is a html document. So let's go to head. Okay, and body. Okay, in body you give anything. Okay, it will show up in the web browser, h1. Okay, web development basics, in Ubuntu system. Okay, and if you give h2, h stands for heading. Okay, this code remains same in Windows 2. Okay, okay, and in the head part, for now no need anything. Okay, save this file. For that we have to go to the file directory, keep this here, go to this and go to this, wait for it. See, as you can see, this is web development basics in Ubuntu system, and this code remains same in Windows 2. Okay, and you can see here the name is html intro.html. You can change this name. Okay, so now head comes into picture. You can give a title, web dev. Okay, and save this and go to Chrome again. Now refresh. As you can see, now it's web dev. Okay, it was html intro.html. Now it's turned to web dev. Okay, which is the name of the title of the html file. Okay, let's continue. So this was about html. Now let's come to css. Css stands for cascading style sheets. So this is like adjective in English grammar. So you will describe the noun, right? How will you describe the noun using adjective? So css plays the similar role. It gives you colors. It can style your html pages. Okay, so cascading style sheets, css is the first technology you should start learning after html. While html is used to define the structure and semantics of your content, css is used to style it and lay it out. For example, you can use css to alter the font, color, size, and spacing of your content, split it into multiple columns, or add animations and other decorative features. You can add various animations, and you can like create with the help of javascript. If you click on a key, okay, you can pop out an animation or generate a sound. Many cool stuff you can do with css, including with javascript. Okay, now css again is the declarative language that controls how web page looks in the browser. So how a web page appears in the web browser. The browser applies css style declarations to selected elements to display them properly. A style declaration contains the properties and their values which determine how a web page looks. Okay, style tag is very much used here. So you can give inline style css, like inside your head you can give style. Okay, style tag, and give body. Okay, background color, let's keep it as what will you keep, let's keep it black. Okay, and save. Okay, and go to the browser again and click on refresh. As you can see, the appearance became black. So for that, let's keep our h1 comma h2, which is these two as white in color. Okay, color white. Now save. Go here. Now if you refresh, you can see this is the css part. So giving a background color, styling your paragraph element or header element, and many you can apply a background image to this file, etc. Okay, so this is inline CSS. Okay, you can create this in another file also. Remove the style tags, copy this, okay, Control C, and go to this css.css file and paste it over here. And here in the head tag, you need to give it the link, okay. So I'll cut this too. So give the link. Okay. Link rel, go to style sheet, type is equal to text css and href html, and you have to give a css file name here, okay. Since this file is in the same directory, there's no need to give another like nutshell forward slash html css and all, okay. If you have created a separate folder called css, then you need to do css slash html css.css. So I'll save this, and even I'll save this. So now let's see, will it work or not, if we are in trouble or not. So if we refresh this, we should get the same thing, okay. As you can see, we are getting the same thing. So now what did we do? We have created a separate css file, okay. Instead of giving everything in a single file, not that you can give everything html css javascript in a single .html file, but it's not a good practice, okay. Being a developer, you have to make folders, separate folders for html css javascript, so that during backend part you'll find it useful to locate all your necessary css files, okay. So even let's now jump into javascript. We are good to go to JavaScript. So JavaScript is like the verb. So where the action is getting started. Okay. So noun was HTML, adjective was CSS, and now comes JS, which is verb. Okay, which is like verb. So JS stands for JavaScript. It's a programming language of the web. It's the most important aspect of web development. Okay, and you know what? Like in during many surveys, like from past years, JavaScript frameworks, JavaScript language stands at the top among every frameworks or language. Okay, so you can use it to add dynamic behavior, store information, and handle requests and responses on a website. JavaScript is a lightweight, interpreted, or just-in-time compiled programming language with first-class functions. JavaScript has many functions. Okay, while it is most well known as the scripting language for web pages, many non-browser environments also use it, such as Node.js, Apache CouchDB, and Adobe Acrobat. JavaScript is a prototype-based multi-paradigm, single-threaded dynamic language supporting object-oriented, imperative, and declarative styles. Okay, so functional programming, it applies functional programming styles. Okay, node, and you know what, we are going to develop application which uses node.js. This is a server side JavaScript language. Okay, and server side, how will we use JavaScript to connect pages, okay, and the database server? We'll see into that in the next video. Okay, let's dive into backend technologies. As I said, Node.js is very important. Node.js is an open source and cross-platform JavaScript runtime environment. So what happens is, if you go to your web browser and if you right-click on it, and if you give an inspect, as I said in the starting of the video, see here we can see the HTML files. See, and if you click on this, you can even see the highlighted part is what I am choosing here, H1. See, web development basics in Ubuntu system is H1. H2 is this code remains same in Windows 2. Okay, like that. And if you go to console here, you can play with stuff like alert, hello. Okay, I should console.log, console.log, alert, sorry. See, it alerted me. This page says hello. Okay, so you can do many stuff with this 6+3 9, anything you can do. Okay, so instead of writing JavaScript code here, we can also write in your HTML file itself. So the format is script tag and alert. Hey user. Okay, I'll save this and I'll refresh. I'll close this for now. I'll refresh this. Now see hey user and click OK and you can see your code like that. So this is the fun part of JavaScript where dynamically things happen. Okay, so Node.js uses JavaScript. Okay, so instead of writing code in your HTML file and also in the inspect element part, you can write code using Node.js runtime environment. Okay. Okay, Node.js runs the VA JavaScript engine, the core of Google Chrome outside of the browser. This allows Node.js to be very performant. Okay. So what are the frequently asked questions? So I'll get many questions like what is Node.js? So Node.js is an open source JavaScript runtime environment that helps in the execution of JavaScript code outside of a browser. So as you saw, we executed couple of statements which were JavaScript language in the inspect element part. So we'll see in the next video how we'll use JavaScript in another environment, okay, which is Node.js. So what are the pros of Node.js? So Node.js offers many benefits for web app development like easy scalability, easy to learn, high performance, highly extensible support of the large and active community, and many more. So the support in a sense like the community is too large. So if you Google anything regarding Node.js, quick support will be ensured. Okay, quick quick support will be assured. Okay, the one more important thing is npm. Npm is node package manager. Okay, npm is the world's largest software registry. Open source developers from every continent use npm to share and borrow packages, and many organizations use npm to manage private development as well. So npm have made people's lives, developers lives easier. Okay, npm stands for node package manager. So many, there are around a million, I guess. I'm guessing. Okay, there are many node packages which you can use in your app. So for example, if you want to create a data like around 500 emails, fake emails, how will you create? You can't type everything, right? Or you can't use for loop also because every time the same email ID will be generated. How will you do? Like there's a package called Faker. So if you npm install Faker and use that Faker, you can easily make 500 dummy emails. So like that you can play with the node packages. Okay, so I'll quickly come to this. So I'll just brush up once. We started from front-end technologies, HTML. You can go to this Mozilla developer docs. Okay, this is very nice. So just go to this. It shows how you have to learn, starting from HTML, then go to CSS, which are the building blocks in CSS. There is important concepts in CSS and JavaScript. Okay, so you can go to this docs. Okay, developer.mozilla.org. Okay, and even CSS, there is a good amount of documentation available on it. So I felt Mozilla is good. So you can go here. See, in this they have done for paragraph element. P here stands for paragraph. We did for H1, right? Sorry, we did for H1, right? The color is yellow, background color black, like that. So coming to JavaScript. So JavaScript, as I said, is the verb for the English language. It's like the verb. Okay, it's a lightweight interpreter, just-in-time compiled programming language. Okay, let's see, you can get tutorials over here. You can learn more about here. Okay, more about JavaScript here. So coming to Node.js, the backend part, where we still use JavaScript, not even in we are using JavaScript not even in front end, but also in the backend part. Okay, using this. So this is the official Node.js development documentation. So just go through this. So you will get to know how important Node.js will be seen in the next video. Okay, there are many things here. Okay, you can also see, can create a web server. You don't need Apache. Like instead of Apache, you can use Node.js also. But Apache is more efficient, I know. But still, things work here in Node.js also. So it has a fantastic standard library. Okay, including first-class support for networking. So see, as you can see, you should require HTTP here, and you can give your host name and port name to which port you are reading, and if you have to create the connection here, and you have to make your port listen to some port and host name, same like you have inserted here, which is 127.0.0.1. So, and in your web browser, you'll get hello world. So basically, this is also acting as web browser. They are actually telling. So as an example, Node.js application. So you can go through this. Okay, there's so much to learn. Okay, so I'll show this. I'll found this good blog about pros and cons of Node.js. Okay, cancel. Okay, okay. See, what are the pros? I mentioned this in my slides. So what are the cons? So cons being only like very few cons. Node.js has some cons like API. The API is not stable. Okay, a lack of a strong library support system and more development. So the conclusion about Node.js is the Node.js is more advantageous to the developers in comparison to its disadvantages. What's more important is the fact that it has extended the area of JavaScript application and can be evidently used for both front-end as well as back-end servers. Okay, so Node.js is very even this framework were topped many years. Okay, is being in the top three positions in the surveys. Okay, because it's JavaScript, it uses JavaScript, and the web is built under the JavaScript, right? So any web you go, JavaScript will be there. So this framework is really helpful, and we'll see the how is it helpful in the next video. And let's go to the PDF again. Okay, I told you about npm. So if you do npm install faker, it's a package called faker where you can generate 500 or any number of emails you want. So I just gave an example about faker. There are many packages like npm install mysql, so you can directly install mysql using npm install, so like that. Okay, you can use npm install EJS for creating an EJS environment file. So basically, EJS stands for Embedded JavaScript. We'll see that also. Okay. So another thing we'll be seeing is Express.js in our app. Okay, Express is a minimal and flexible Node.js web application framework that provides a robust set of features for web and mobile applications. So Express.js is very handy, and it helps Node.js working. Okay, so I'll go to this. I'll go to this. Okay, this is again the official Express.js website. Okay, okay. See, fast, unopinionated, minimalist web framework for Node.js. Okay, and you can, as you can see, how you can install Express with this Node package manager. Node npm install Express dash dash save, and there you go, Express. And if you require Express, and you are good to go. Okay, so that easy is to handle this. Okay, so now this is one more example, hello world example, where they are requiring Express after installing Express. Okay, require Express, again the same example of hello world here. Okay, so this is the slash route, the important route, as you can see, slash and all, right? So for that you have to go to app.get and define your this one route here. Okay, and you have to listen to your port. So if you start the server, you'll get this message now. Example app listening at HTTP localhost at the port number you mentioned. Okay. Also, there's a simple application of Express here. See, the basically they are using express variable and they are requiring express thread, and you are calling express using app. So app dot get route and a function request and response. Okay, so if you give rest dot send hello world, when you run the applications, when you go to your local host, you can see this type. Okay, hello world, and this is listening in port 3000. Okay, this app object has many methods. Okay, like app dot get, app dot post, app dot route, app dot render, anything. Okay, many objects are there, which we'll be seeing in the next video. Okay, so we're almost done with this video. So finally, how a web app works. Web app, so till now we have been installing few packages. We installed Apache web server, we installed MySQL server. So why did we do all this? Okay, to do, like, we did all this because we have to develop an app. Okay, we have to develop an app, right? So before that we have to know what's the like how it works. That's important. Simply installing few softwares and just going through, that's not a right way of learning. So we have to know how a web app actually works. Okay, this is a simple slide, so you can see here. So user triggers a request to a web server over the internet. So internet, see, if we go to Google and we press www.amazon.com, so through internet, those HTTP request goes to a web server, right? So this web server forwards this request to the appropriate web application server. So application server in our case is node.js. Okay, this acts as actually a hybrid and it's very useful. Web application server platform performs the requested task such as querying the database or processing the data, then generates the results of the requested data. Okay, web application server sends the result to the web server with the requested information or processed data. So what did this do? Application server went to database server and asked, hey database server, give me this data, or hey database server, keep this data. And again the application server comes to the web application server. Okay, and the web application server gives back to the client computer. Okay, I'll show you in the next slide how it actually works. So web server responds back to the client with the requested information that then appears on the user's display. So the client's computer gets everything, like Amazon.com's homepage, orders, deals, everything. Okay, so those are the HTML, CSS, JavaScript files, front end part, right? So this one, as you can see, www.amazon.com, if a website visitor types that through internet, he's making a HTTPS request, okay, to the web server. So this web server asks for application server for help. Okay, it will tell like I have got this response. You please help me out. Okay, so this application server, what it will do, it will go to the database server. Okay, for example, this guy asks for any clothes. Okay, I need this brand clothes, so let's say brand X. So this as for this is for goes to the brand X data, brand X, and it show in DBMS, it shows that the availability and is the product there. So in DBMS it will all be stored here, and it DBMS server will again give back to the application server the information. So application server again gives to web server, and finally responses from web server, HTML, CSS, data, JavaScript, images, Flash content, everything through internet, and finally to the website visitor. Visitor. So, web server actually, if you guys are having like doubt, what's the use of web server actually when you can do all in application server? So the thing is, one single application server can't handle. Okay, so for example, if you have created a website and that website is getting like a request like 1,000 hits. Okay, like 1,000 people has have like simultaneously all will type your website.com. Okay, so then your application server can't alone like digest those requests, right? So for that you need another web server. So this web server it develops, like it uses technology called load balancing. Okay, load balancing, what does web server do with load balancing? So it will be like the first 300 requests I'll give to server one. Within the second 300 requests will be distributed to server two. Like that, many servers will get the request using load balancing. For that, we need web server. So web server in this case is Apache web server. In our app, I will try. I've not tried it, but in the future video I'll do it. We can easily do Apache. We use Apache with Node.js by using reverse proxy techniques. Hopefully in future video I'll upload that. Okay, as I said, web server is the main thing which serves the HTML files. Okay, so for one final time, I'll tell this. So website visitor or any client, he gives a HTTP request and web server, it goes to this one application server. Application server will post the data or retrieve data. Like it will ask DBMS server, can you post this data? DBMS server, can you give me this data? The user is asking. The user is asking some brand X clothes. Do you have that? Okay, so like that, the DBMS responds to the application server. So from application server, it goes against the web server, and in web server will do some load balancing, etc., and it will render our pages. Okay, which website visitor or client wants. Okay, so that's it. This was all in a nutshell. Okay, you can learn many more things about this. Okay, and in the next video we'll be developing an app which is Linux fan club. Okay, or Linux club. So basically, this is an app which collects name and email of people who are interested in joining the Linux or Linux based operating system community you are starting. Okay, so let's start coding in the next video. It will be fun for sure. Thank you all.